So we got the motor off the subframe, we got the spindles, the struts out, we got both motor mounts off the sub, we got the steering rack sitting outside because I don't want it in my way. All we got to do now is sweep the floor, bring this down onto a nice wheeled cart so I can move it. And then we're pretty much done with this. Pretty much, well, for now. Watch your fingers. There you go. Motor set down onto a wheeled cart, but I would have liked to be a little bit more centered. You know what, I'm going to center that up just a bit better. The last thing I need to do is falling off that cart. There we go, let's try that. Let's give her a shake now. Feel better. Not a whole lot better, but better. So there you go. Motor pulled and on a cart. Now it is movable and I don't need the John Deere no more. There we go, my head was cut off. So I think that's where we're going to call it on this video. I got the Lumina pulled out, I got the motor transmission, subframe out of it, strut saved, even though one looks bent, so I probably disposed of that one. I haven't pulled the axles out yet, but it's all done. The next thing for us to do is to do a good cleanup, and then get the V6 Camry in here. Now the problem with that is I'm by myself, and it'd be really nice if I could have somebody in that Camry steering it to get it in the garage. I have done it before by myself. Maybe I just might have to use the John Deere again and get her pulled out, get her in place, and just kind of shove her in. We'll have to see. But it's getting close. It's getting close. But no, plans for this is I'm going to be purchasing a standalone harness to run this. A tuned ECM. I'm going to be doing an AC delete. I'm probably going to have to build a couple motor mounts on this sucker. And we'll just go from there. This motor mount is actually completely destroyed. These motor mounts on the driver's side, sorry, the passenger side, the front of the motor, like to blow apart a lot. So I do have bolts that go into here to help chain this thing down. So we will probably be building a new bracket to help hold this thing to the, basically the subframe. And then we'll be building one for the opposite side. Now these are a completely different motor mount system than the Toyota Camrys. Camrys mount at the bottom and then only have one at the top. These ones here mount a lot at basically the top, and the bottom. The top stops it from swaying, the bottom holds it steady. So we're going to have to find a way to attach it to the factory Toyota Camry mount up here, I think. Maybe we'll build a bracket, or I don't know. We'll have to find something out. But thanks for watching, guys. This is the first step of me trying to pull this out. I haven't done a lot of W bodies, so this is all kind of new territory to me. But motor's not seized. I have it out. I bought the car running. I bought the car driving. It was lost in the derby because a broken tie rod and a popped tire just kind of got it stuck, and Buddy didn't want it no more, so I purchased it. And I've been wanting to do this swap pretty much all year. I ended up buying this car, I believe, in May, and it's middle October now. So that shows you how long I've been wanting to do this swap. So hopefully I can get it done. Hopefully it sits in there nicely, and hopefully everything works good. Some things that I'm worried about, how I'm going to make the axles work. And what I mean by that is Toyota Camry spindles and Lumina spindles are quite different. How they mount to the actual car is different. I kind of want to run the Lumina whole strut assembly with the spindle, but how the ball joint is on them will not work. Now I have an option of going with a different type of spindle off like an H-body. This is all going to be something that I have to try, test, and see how it goes. So But anyway, how do you guys like this video? Getting back into the hardcore building, motor swaps, that kind of stuff, playing with Camrys. Want to do something different for you guys, but still keeping the same Camry line. And I know you guys are saying like you're getting tired of Camrys, and you know what the problem is, guys? Camrys are tough, and if you don't drive one, pretty much winning is very hard around me, at least. If W bodies were allowed in Mini, I'd probably be running a lot of W bodies and Camrys. But for me, W bodies step you up to either mid-size or full-size, and that's just not me. The Camrys, I like the car count in Mini. I like how the Camrys handle. I know a lot about them now. And putting this motor in is going to be a gamble for me because I don't know a whole lot about these motors. I've heard good things, and a lot of you guys down in the US really like these 3100s. Now I know I'm going to get a lot of comments, and I believe the biggest comment I'm going to get is Zerk, and gray area, and engine cage. I'm not going to do that as of yet because you're not really allowed engine cages around me. And there's no sense to buy something for a massive amount of money if I can't use it. So we'll see and play it by ear, see where this thing can go, see what she can do, and see if she even works. So come back tomorrow and we'll see if I can get the Camry pulled up and get the V6 motor out of the Camry and go from there. For steering, I don't know if I'm going to run the Lumina rack or the Camry rack, only time will tell. So. Oh my God. What on earth happened in here last night? Well, what happened was I forgot the camera inside and brought the V6 in. My Aunt Michelle, I had to bribe her with some tomatoes, so she came over and helped me move the car into the garage. And then I super sketchily removed the motor with a small 1/4 inch steel cable and some angle iron. And we pretty much tore this car apart with getting about maybe 20% of the oil into there and the rest of it on the damn ground. Whew, this was a big mess. So first thing we got to do today is pretty much clean up this garage so I don't track this oil everywhere. I had to remove a lot of parts off the front of that V6 to make it light enough so I could actually move it. So I ended up pulling like the cams off, the heads off, everything I could just to be able to make it lighter because of how I had the hoist. The front end was heavier than the back end, so I couldn't lift it. But no, this is, it's out. That's pretty much it's out. So we're going to be getting rid of this motor today, putting it into a scrap car. We're going to be cleaning up the garage. We're going to maybe be bringing that motor in front of this car, coming up with a game plan. Some of you guys have been asking me some questions, so I'm going to show you guys how to do it on V6s, and I'm going to make a separate video for that, and that'll fall underneath the Camry 101 section. But mostly right now we're going to be doing a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of throw out some garbage, and get some Absorball on this damn floor. But no, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup, and then we'll get back to playing around with this. Showing you guys the plan, showing you guys what I think I need to do. So let's do a little bit of cleanup, and we'll see you guys right back here. Well, who says you need a tractor to get these motors out of this place? So let's go put this motor in a scrap car. So now the V6 is properly installed in the back of this car, right beside its 4-cylinder counterpart. You can kind of see the size difference between these. Now this one does have a transmission on it, so I know it's not a proper size comparison, but the V6 is quite a bit larger, fully aluminum block, aluminum heads. When the 4-cylinder's got a cast block and aluminum heads, it does make a difference, right? But oh well, she's in here, and we can go back to our V6 project now. Now that we're starting to get some of our space back, I can pull this thing ahead and get it actually on the hoist. Because there's no front suspension into it, we're going to have to drag it ahead with another vehicle and then throw the arms underneath. So let's get going. Well, there you go. A little bit of gasoline, an old windshield wiper, and a shot vac, and no fear, we'll get your floor clean in no time. But let's take a look at this car. So let's do an overall examination and tell you guys why I picked this car. So it is a V6 car, so no matter what, I was going to take out the V6. And I had that Lumina motor just sitting around, so kind of two things work together at the same time. Now here's the third reason. It is very clean. Like, very clean. So that is another reason why I chose this car. Now it has been raced, and it has been scuffed and dinged and dented. It's got a cage in it that I'm not an overall big fan of, so we will be taking out the cage that's in this car and getting rid of it and probably putting a different one into it. But cage is a long way away from getting the motor inside this thing. So the first thing that we want to do is try to put that motor into here, and it's going to be kind of a process where I have to fit and try to test fit 7 or 8 times to try to get this thing in there. I don't know how it's going to go, to be honest. There's a lot of things that I want to try in this car. I probably won't be able to run this anywhere here in Ontario, and we'll have to see. Now, I'm not planning to do anything crazy. I'm not planning a Zerk cage. I'm not planning a carburetor kit, because this is all test. This is all just to see if this will work. Test to see if I can make a kit where I just be able to fabricate it up, get it all laser cutted, and make it so that this thing is able to drop into the next car. So we will have to see what I can do and what I can't do. Like I said, one of the big limitations here is going to be the spindles, because Lumina's, the ball joint comes down, and on Camrys it comes up. Now I could probably cut this out and have the Lumina ball joint come down through. That is an option, and we will try to see if maybe that would work. But again, I don't know. We'll have to do some testing. This is not going to be a direct bolt-in swap, 4-hour swap kind of thing. This is going to be quite some time to be able to do this swap. Some of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the brake lines and gas lines out of the car. I'm going to drop the gas tank that's in the car, all that fun stuff, and basically get this car stripped to the point where I like it. Give myself as much room as I can in the engine bay, so all of this will have to come out. The fuel filter is going to come out. I might even get rid of the power brakes and go to a manual brake setup. I'm going to leave all the brake lines on the firewall because they're kind of tucked way out of the way unless I come up to a problem with them. Power steering reservoir is going to go. Steering rack. I don't know if I'm going to keep the Camry steering rack or swap it to a Lumina steering rack. Only time will tell. But this is going to be a pretty interesting build. It's probably going to take me quite some time. It might be even on and off. I might get it so this car is a roller so I can push it back outside, because there's still lots of things I got to do. But that's where we're at today. Motor's out, floor's clean, car's pretty much stripped to the point where it's ready to go. So, and we got the 3.1 sitting on the ground over there. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. I'm just going to clean this car up now, take everything out of the engine bay that's not needed, like the air conditioning condenser and all that fun stuff. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.